In the last video, people said that the Banshee was bogging so badly because of the Tour system, a Tour system malfunction. So let's go ahead and disable it and give it a shot. Now, I've never actually had a Banshee that had the Tour system on it, so this will be my first experience, but I've heard about all the issues they cause. So that's the main reason why I'm pretty sure people take these things off. The good news is it's really easy to delete them. All you have to do is unplug them. So we're just gonna go ahead and do that, and then we'll fire it up. Oh, well. Would you look at that? Somebody already cut the wires on the Tour system. The wires come out back here. This one, you can actually see the cut wire. You can see it up under there. So I guess it wasn't the Tours making it bog. Well, that was short-lived. If you want to see how amazing this machine runs, you'll have to check out the other video. And look at this, what I just found. This is definitely a really nice wire harness. Wait till you guys see the ASPCA Raptor series. I think for that reason alone, I'm just tired of dealing with wire harnesses. I think this one's just gonna get a whole brand new one, maybe a South Texas Banshee one or something. I'm not dealing with wires anymore. It is time to tear this thing down though. I wanna get inside this engine and see why it's running so bad. So let's clean her up. We'll throw her outside, put a nice shine on her, and then we'll tear her down. All right, first thing I wanna do before I wash it, let's get this oil draining. Let's see what we got going on in here. Ooh, seems watery. And I also want to drain what I'm almost certain is water with green food dye in it. That might actually be coolant. Oh. You guys see that? It's like brown. Ugh. It's like poop food coloring. Ugh, God, it's all rusty inside the... Oh man, look in there. There's like turd remnants. That radiator's getting replaced. All right, here we go. Kill that dirt. Dirt stands no chance. All right, now's when this starts to get scary because we've cleaned off all the dirt and grime protecting all of the shod that it's been, all of the shod of this machine. Sorry. Oh my God, are you serious? Dude, the foot pegs are welded to the frame. So's the shifter, I already saw that though. Oh my God. Let's begin. All right, first things first, before we even get this thing up on the stand, let's see if we can get the axle nuts loose. It's way easier to do this when it's on the ground, and I've forgotten to do this before. Unfortunately, the rear brakes don't work, so we can't put them on. But we can lock them up with a metal rod. Oh man, it's pretty tight. Oh. All right, I'm tired of playing games. Oh man, that's really tight. Oh my God. Whew, this is super tight, man. This is really super tight. Oh, there it goes. Oh, bitch. Can't beat me. Can't beat me and my giant ass wrenches. Now imagine trying to do this with the quad on the stand. Be a freaking nightmare. We have to come up with a name for this wrench, and it can't be Big Bertha, that's too generic, but it's gotta be something. This one's a fighter too. Got some PB Blaster on there, we're heating her up. It ain't gonna win. It can't beat us. It can't beat me. God damn. Got like an extra heavy duty tie rod holding this damn thing from spinning, and it's bending. Jesus. Really, I should let this soak like overnight with the PB blaster, but kind of in a get it done kind of mood. The other thing is if we had an oxyacetylene torch and we made them red hot, like literally red hot, these would come right off, but I don't have one of those. This might be one of those axles that's a candidate to just be cut right off. All right, you may have won for right now, axle nut, but my friend PB Blaster is gonna soften you up and we're gonna get you. Didn't think that was coming off. Pretty sure this was a cross-threaded on castle nut of, I don't even know. The real question is gonna be, is if it moves. It's moving, we're good. As long as it's moving, we're good. Really, it kind of owes us this after the whole fiasco with the axle nut. We're gonna leave it there, but that should come out real easy once we have it on the stand. I just wanted to make sure it was gonna move. And hub nuts I can usually break free after the fact, but oh, that's the wrong size. I usually like to break these free just in case, because if they're super tight, then you're in trouble. That one was pretty tight. I don't think these have ever been removed. Look how clean the surface is on that. That axle nut might be winning for the moment, but we'll get it. Let's take the engine out while we're letting that soak in some PB Blaster. Ugly, man. Real ugly. It's not that bad though. It's all repairable. You can see this is the crusty edition. This is my favorite part right here though. Pretty nice mod. I mean, I guess you gotta do what you gotta do. Keep it running, right? Luckily I'm sure I can repair that. I'll have to pull this all apart. I mean, it's gonna be pulled apart anyways, but pile up some weld there. I'll have to surface it and then drill it and tap a new hole. Hopefully that's not representative of the inside of the engine, but it more than likely is. Frame is looking okay. It's not horrible. There's a crack back here. I'll have to repair that, straighten out this. You can see bent downward. I'm not sure what happened back there, but I think it is straight, which is the important part. All right, we'll come back to fighting that. Right now I want to get the shock off because I want to get this thing to Rocket Ron ASAP. Well, I don't really think there's going to be too much more exciting things happening as far as the teardown of the rest of the roller goes. So I'll most likely do that off camera. If I find anything, I'll be sure to let you know. But what I'm really excited for is this engine. I want to know what's going on, man, specifically with the top end. I think the bottom end's whack too, dude. Let's stop wasting time and let's tear this thing down. All right, man, I'm dying to know what's going on in this top end. I'm dying. I'm going to die if I don't find out. I can't live without knowing. Who comes up with these phrases? That's always good. Nice. Uh-oh. It's pretty corroded. There it goes. Oh, wow. Check it out, man. We have almost no piston damage. You can see this one looks good. It looks like it was rich, but both the piston tops appear to have no damage. Very surprised. And cylinder walls even look pretty good too. There is carnage though. You can see the head here. This exploded at some point in time and they didn't replace the head. And this is actually dangerous to run. That can cause detonation. For a pump gas bike, probably not as bad, but this definitely saw some carnage at some point in time. I believe this is the OEM head. It's got the 2GU on there, but this is pretty much useless unless somebody wants to cut this. Shocking, really. I just was not expecting. I didn't think it was too bad, but I thought for sure there'd be some damage up there. Let's see what the skirts look like and our crank. All right, let's not disappoint us here, Mr. Banshee. We want to see some carnage. The people came to see carnage. We don't want these perfect piston tops. Not trying to hear that. It's all coming apart very easily, too. Okay, so once again, not too bad. These are Chinese pistons, and I would guess by the condition of them that these are fairly new. These things wear out really quickly, depending, really. If they're treated right and they're jetted perfectly, you might be able to get some time out of them. But we're not out of the water, man. I did discover something. They are in the correct orientation. That's good. I've seen these put in backwards before. Oh man, the machining on these pistons is terrible. You can see the edge of these ports. They need to be shaved up. Definitely Chinese pistons. Well, the skirts are good. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear this. I do believe it looks like up in here that there's play either in the bearing or the piston pin. I'm unsure. And the rod feels like it's got a little bit of play too, but there's definitely up and down play. This one you can hear it a lot more. There's definitely play in the, something in there is not good. The lifetime of this thing probably wasn't too much longer. And I did notice this, this side here, I don't know, both sides, I think the base gasket was blown out, possibly on both sides. We had our little smoke incident. Holy shit, what the hell was that? And I think that was one of the base gaskets blowing out. Let's look at our cylinders. These don't really look that bad either. I'm telling you, I would say that these, regardless of the exterior condition, because they look horrible, I would bet these cylinders and pistons probably don't have that much time on them. Let's see this one over here. This one's got a big gouge in it. But like overall, not bad enough to make it run as bad as it was. All right, let's get these here performance reads off. Got the cork modification done. It's a high dollar job right there. You got to send these in. There's only a couple guys that actually know how to do that properly. Good horsepower gain though. I don't think these are stock. I think these are reproduction boots. They choke down a lot. And again, just like that piston skirt, there's like just poor craftsmanship, I guess you could say. I don't know if these are, they're OEM style at least. These actually look to be okay. And the way it ran, I mean, you can tell it's got an aggressive dune port in there. So, I mean, these are good cylinders. I would say, you know, the Chinese ones go for like $150 on eBay, new, but these have already been broken in and they've got the cork mod. So, and they've got the spring on here too. This spring here, see the one side's got the spring and the other doesn't. That helps you to discern which one is the left and the right cylinder, because really, I mean, you can see there's no way to discern which one is left and right, which can make it really tricky. You're really rolling the dice when you're installing these. That's a good modification there. I'm thinking like $299 or $399. I'll do like buyer's choice. It's a new thing on eBay, and you guys could pick those up for your Banshee. Okay, let's get our Stator side off. Unfortunately, we can't even take this cover off because the shifter needs to come off first, and somebody welded the shifter on because, well, why wouldn't you weld the shifter on? So maybe we can grind that off. The flapper, man, a great addition to any toolbox. Can I angle this so that the sparks go down? Probably not. $999.99. All right, now we can get these lousy OEM bolts out from Yamaha. They use Phillips head from the factory and they suck because they strip out a lot. The heads strip out. And this would actually be a very nice cover, but it's got spray paint all over it. I don't know if it can be stripped or saved to look good again or what. Looks OEM. An OEM stator plate, which that's actually a good sign. Our nifty flywheel puller on here. Make sure this is threaded really, pretty much as far as it can go. And it threads in the opposite direction. If you don't get it threaded in all the way, it can rip the internal threads out, and you don't want to do that, all right? Looks like an OEM stator. That's good. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but this flywheel rattles. That's a sign that it's bad. It's on its way out. And I also noticed when I pulled the expansion chambers off, they were filled with water, like a lot of water. And with the two-stroke especially, two-strokes do a lot of exhaust scavenging. It's part of why the pipes are big and bulgy like that. I'm not gonna get into the explanation of it, but you're actually cycling back. You're taking exhaust scavenging. You're taking exhaust fumes from the pipe and they're going back in the exhaust port. So we're actually, with the water in the pipes, we're taking water and putting it back in the cylinder, which is gonna make it run like crap. And a bad flywheel can do the same thing. So those two things alone could make a machine run really crappy, basically the way that it was. I think this is okay, but it's definitely seen better days. Probably go ahead and replace the stator as well. Well, it's definitely had bottom end work. You can see got some excessive RTV down here, and it's gray RTV, which is not good, man. If this is regular gray RTV, this is not two-stroke friendly, and gas actually breaks it down, which can cause leaks at the crank. And I would not be surprised if that's actually going on with this thing, the way that it was running. Oh, gee, this is finger tight. This sprocket bolt is finger tight, wow. But yeah, you have to use a gasoline-friendly gasket maker when you're putting together any two-stroke, because your gas is your lubricant, your fuel. So it gets down in there and it'll actually eat away the gasket. And then before you know it, you've got leaks. You can see the condition of this nut right here. Stuff like this I'm gonna replace. This washer, wasted. This should really be replaced every time anyways. Sprocket is in really good shape. But what I do is I have my my little notepad here, and I'll just write down parts as I'm finding like bad pieces. And that way you don't forget, because believe me, you'll just forget, man. There's gonna be so many little things. You're putting something together and you have a nut like this stopping you from building. So the list is key. Well, there was a through bolt on the Kickstarter, and I just wanted to show, I took that through bolt out, and the splines are really good on this Kickstarter. Yeah, that's getting replaced. Come on, mother, are you serious? Is this really gonna be this difficult to get off? How could this be so loose, but so stuck at the same time? Bitch. Yeah, you can see this thing is wasted, man. There's like no splines left on the one side. Surprisingly, the shaft actually looks good. You guys think we'll find like a Hinson clutch basket in here with no grooves in it whatsoever? Probably not. Very, very unlikely. My God. Whoever had this apart last time was definitely balling on a budget, because they used hardware that's, the head of the bolt is so big that you can't actually get a socket around it. So I'm gonna have to use an open end wrench and like get it around, I guess, like 1/8 of a turn at a time. can't get the box end around. It's just way too close. And we've got our special bolt back here. I'm just going to be really gentle with this in hopes that we don't cause any more damage than's already is there. Unfortunately, the bolt bent probably when they were tightening it, so I mean I can cut it if I need to, but hopefully we can just fish it out. All right, that wasn't too bad. I'll probably reuse that. I mean, that's a pretty good mod. All right, man, here we go. Ooh, man. Actually, it doesn't look that bad. This probably, clutch has exploded at some point in time. You can see some damage on the pressure plate there. That's definitely not supposed to be there. But it doesn't mean the pressure plate's bad. I did notice the entire cooling system is really, really gross. Look at the impeller. It spins, I think anyways. Yeah, it spins, but it's just like really disgusting. I think, in fact, that it was repaired at some point in time. If you look on the radiator, there's this big blob here. Pretty sure that's a repair job. I also noticed on the inside of this clutch cover, there's a hole here, and I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to be there. You can see it's not really in the center. They probably drilled that hole there to adjust the clutch pusher, which is the OEM one. That's kind of rare. Usually there's a pancake bearing or some kind of aftermarket thing in there. And I'm almost positive, in fact, I think I have a clutch cover over here from the OG Banshee. And yes, see, no hole in there. So I don't know, is that, you guys have to let me know in the comment section below, is that like a common mod on the stock clutch cover? I guess it could work because you have like the rubber buffer on the other side that's underneath the Yamaha cover. And I guess that would be a nice seal. I don't know, let me know in the comment section below if anybody's done that before, if that's common, if it works, I don't know. I wanted to stop to thank you for making it this far into the video. If you love Banshees and you can't wait for the next video, make sure to check out the Voodoo Banshee I built under the playlist Building the Ultimate Trail Banshee, Voodoo Banshee. I'd also like to take a moment to thank the companies that are helping to make this project possible. Thank you to Rocky Mountain ATV, Rocket Run Suspension, Hermosi Throttles, Power Sports Nation, DRW, Bonehead Performance, and CPI. These are all companies that I trust, and most of them I use on a regular basis. Any applicable promo codes and links to their websites will be in the description below. If you're enjoying the video so far and looking for a way to help out, giving the video a thumbs up, leaving a comment below, or subscribing to the channel all help out a ton. Products and tools in the video are listed in the description below, and purchasing from those links does help me out a lot. I get a small kickback from that, and there's no extra cost to you. Voodoo Banshee t-shirts and hoodies are now available for sale. The link for that will also be in the description below, and if you're looking to support the channel even further, there is the option to join. All channel members get guaranteed responses to their YouTube comments. All right, well, I say it's about time we get back to work. Looks like a fairly new clutch. See what our clutch rod looks like. Willie, the guy I bought it from, said he thinks there's a clutch rod issue. It looks okay. It's a little rough at the edge, but I don't know. Probably get a new one just because it's cheap, easy security. Clutch pack looks actually relatively new. Actually looks pretty good. No idea what brand. The basket actually, oh, it's grooved pretty good. I changed my mind. Oh, look at that. Look at all that play. That's the bumpers are totally shot in the clutch basket. It's time for a new one. So I'll be getting a billet basket for this anyways. The inner hub actually looks not bad, and the grooves don't feel bad either. Although, I might end up just getting a new one anyways because it looks like there might be a little bit of grooving where the clutch contacts. Oh my God, are you serious? Look at the idler gear back here. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like that or not. Maybe it's supposed to be that way. I'm sure that contributed to some of the weird noises that were coming from this thing. I'll have to pull this off, see if we need to replace that. And I'll be replacing the clutch pack anyways. I usually always replace the clutch because unless I can identify the brand and I know it's a name brand, and even then you don't know what kind of oil they were running with it and stuff. Clutches are cheap enough, and it's like you're in there already. You might as well just put a new clutch in there, then you know what you have. Whew. It's really dirty, like sludgy. Not sure why, all just inside the clutch. Probably poor oil flow. And this is grooved pretty bad. Might have some carnage here. Yeah, it's looking pretty, not the greatest. Wow. Look at the rivets on the back of this clutch. they're like smeared. It's like somebody started to grind them down to replace the bushings and then just didn't. Gear looks okay, but kind of doesn't too. I mean, some of these teeth, almost all the teeth look good, but like look at this one here. It's got a just like wear on the back from this idler gear. Whew. That's got to be replaced. Shaft looks okay, but man, this thing is, look at the bushing in there, it's wasted. I wonder how long it was like that. I mean, the whole face of the gear is like polished and the gears are kind of rounded to the one side. It's probably been a while. I'm amazed that it really didn't seem to be causing an issue. Damn, even the kicker gear's Jesus. That's got to be replaced. This is pretty bad, dude. Not gonna lie. Even the primary drive gear has broken teeth on it. This is all stuff that's got to be replaced. All OG shifting stuff. Got the original shift star, the non-bearing detent. No shifting modifications to make it a little bit smoother. We'll be fixing all of that. Man, this thing is rough. Check this out, man. You're probably pretty close to catastrophic failure here. The shift star is loose. You can actually spin the bolt by hand. This is pretty bad, not gonna lie. Well, I just pulled the one piston off and the wrist pin bearing literally just fell apart. Looks like this one at least stayed together, but total junk, dude. Total junk. You can just see the cheapness of the aluminum in these things, like really low quality. This is like a melted down aluminum can kind of pot metal. $50. Good piston. All right, who's ready to see some transmission gears? I know I am. Not. Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. This thing couldn't wait for us to crack it open to find more carnage. Got a crack up here on the case. This one's not a big deal. There's a seam right here. I can just go straight across there. That's like a cosmetic thing. But then look, another hole down here is blown out. So, I mean, I'm going to be repairing this one back here anyways. So, it looks like I got two of them to repair. This is RTV Master 5000. I think it was just good and stuck together. No surprises on the underside of the case, other than like dirt and stuff. Just a ton of RTV. Surprisingly, and luckily, I guess if you could call any of this quad luck, all of the gears are good on the transmission. I just spent a good like 2 minutes checking each individual gear. The dogs appear to be good. I'll probably pull this apart anyways and just double check. But again, man, this Banshee owed this to us, man, with all the other bullshit. Trans does look good, though. Go ahead and pull that out. Shift forks. Shift forks look good, too. Shift shafts, very dirty. Very, very, very dirty. So I don't think this thing had leaking crank seals. I think the issue... Ooh, there's water in this. Well, it's probably just coolant. But I don't think there were any issues with the crank seals. I think our issues came from the stator and the water from the exhaust. I think that's why it was running so badly. All right, well, we've got some work to do here. It's not that bad, though, but no, it actually is. It's kind of bad. So I'm gonna clean up the tools here. These are great, by the way. These Tubbo towels, shop towels, they're really good for cleaning tools, just keeping things nice. And they're good for cleaning your hands too. Like if you don't have access to a sink or you don't wanna go wash your hands, just like to wipe them down real quick. But anyways, since you've been dealing with so much scum here, let's deal with some new stuff because I've got a ton of new parts. Like a lot of parts. Seriously though, I literally just bought like $10,000 worth of parts. That's like no word of a lie, man. This stuff gets expensive really quick. It might even be more than that. But we got a lot of good stuff. And I mean, as you saw, this quad on the usability chart of parts, I would say we're at like, for badness, I would say this is like a 7.5 out of 10. So like for usability, it's like a 3, 2.5. We have a new grab bar here. Got a lot of cool parts. Ooh, look at this one, dude. This one's from like the black market. Top secret. So I'm gonna open this stuff up. We'll check out what we got. It's probably a good time to mention why I'm so thankful for all the sponsors of this channel because I mean, you guys can see the amount of parts that we're gonna have to put into this thing. And companies like Power Sports Nation and Rocky Mountain ATV really help soften the blow because it would just be a straight killer if I didn't have their help, dude. And in order to do this stuff right, really, there's a lot of stuff like we could use, but it really should be replaced. So I really appreciate those companies. I have all the links in the description below of parts and tools that I use. It's usually coming from guys like that. And if you use those links, it doesn't cost you any more, but it does help me out. So if you're looking for a way to help out the channel, I do appreciate that. All right, man, we got some good stuff here. So the tires is what was in those huge boxes, if you couldn't guess. But these are freaking sweet. You can see I got them from Drag Specialties because this is gonna be the fastest quad that was ever made. It's gonna be the fastest Banshee ever in the whole world, ever. Anyways, these are the K778A, DIK, I think it is, 778A. They are a replica of the OEM Doros, or Dunlops that came on Banshees. They're made by Doro. Supposed to be really good, just like the OEM ones. I love the look of these. It's just got that really good OEM look. And then the DI 2002, I think they are, also by Doro. They look almost identical to the OEM tires that were on the 1992 Banshee. These should be perfect. For rims, I've got the Rockout rims, dude. I love these rims. I've been putting them on everything since the 250R. I think they're a really clean look. I like that they enable you to get rid of the disc guard behind the rim. They're kind of like integrated there. Just a clean looking rim. And then for the rear, these are by Rock. These came from Motorsport. These are supposed to be a very good rim. They're very inexpensive. They're like $100 a pop. Pretty inexpensive as far as beadlock wheels go. They do have an aluminum ring, so it's not steel. If you guys go to get these, just keep that in mind. But these are pretty nice. Gonna be powder coating the rims. I believe it's a flat white, would be era specific. Sound all historical right now. But I'm gonna find that out. It's either gonna be a gloss white or a matte white or a flat white, but the rim itself will be white, this will be white, and then the ring is gonna be a flat black, and I'm gonna replace all the hardware with black hardware too to kind of make it like mesh into the tire and make it a little bit more stealth, so it'll have like the Resto Mod look, at least in my mind. Then we got some new old stock DG Nerf bars. Also, I would say era specific, even though it's not gonna look stock. These are old school Nerf bars that would probably be similar to the ones that you'd have back in 1992. They're the Fat Series ones. They're pretty compact. I like the look of these. Notoriously, these steel sections rust on these, so I'm gonna get those powder coated, as well as having the bars themselves powder coated. It came with nets too, and I'm going to stitch up my own nets. We're gonna do probably pink or powder blue, whatever will match best for the 1992 color scheme. And we've got an aftermarket bumper and aftermarket grab bar. These are OEM replicas. I wanted to try these out. There's a number of companies. You can get literally almost everything aftermarket for the Yamaha Banshee. They even make aftermarket gas tanks now. It's insane. Some of the stuff is good, some of the stuff is bad. Part of the reason I like to get the aftermarket stuff is because I want to test it out and show you guys, so that if you go to buy stuff, you know, you're not getting tricked into getting something that you would think is OEM or OEM quality, but it's not. This seems decent. It's not as good as OEM. It's definitely not. Like the welds, they're basically OEM quality. You can see on some of the areas they ground down the welds. I don't know if they were ugly or they're trying to make it look a little bit cleaner. The tabs aren't perfectly straight, but I've noticed on OEM grab bars, they're usually not perfectly straight either. So I can't really knock it for that. Some of the stuff on here maybe would have to be like tweaked just a little bit to be perfect, but you know, It's like a $50 grab bar. These things are almost always ground down in the back, as the one on the Banshee that the one I pulled off. I believe this is an OEM one, and you know, it's got the grind marks. So it's, I guess you could pile up weld and then grind it down and make it smooth, but it's a little tweaked too. So I just feel like for 50 bucks, it makes sense to just get the aftermarket. So let's test it out. I have a very scientific test to see if it's as durable. Before we do the test though, I'll show you the bumper. This is the aftermarket bumper. It comes coated already, and it comes with the little bumpers on the outside. Not exactly cheap. It was about 70 bucks. It feels about the same as an OEM. The welds look basically like OEM quality. They're not beautiful, but they're not totally ugly. Kind of just like OEM. And the one that came off isn't horrible, but it's not perfectly round in the tube. There's a bunch of dents and stuff down here. And even after sandblasting, I think it's not going to look quite perfect. So I figured it would be easier to just sell this one as a used one and get this upgraded one to, you know, just not have to worry about any of the dents or anything. And I'm going to send all these parts out to get powder coated anyways. So whatever these are coated with, doesn't matter. It's going to be matching the frame perfectly. Okay, so now onto the scientific test. I figure if we weigh these parts, we'll be able to, you know, tell if they're using the same gauge of steel, stuff like that. All right, so let's weigh the OEM bumper, 2.708 pounds. And the aftermarket, 2.858. So it's actually heavier. So I would say this is more than likely going to be a good bumper. Now for the grab bar, we've got the OEM. I'm almost certain this is the OEM grab bar. 1.852. Then the aftermarket, 1.776. So it's close. It's close enough that I'd be comfortable running it. It's like 1/10 of a pound lighter. So it's probably similar gauge thickness of steel. I mean, that could be a variation of the amount of welds that are piled up on it. Yeah, so we got a ton of other parts that are coming, that are in the mail. I can't wait till that stuff gets here. But like, did you really think that I just forgot about this? We're not losing this battle, I promise. Come on, PB Blaster, tell me you did your job. Bastard. God damn, dude. Dude, this is the tightest bolt I've ever dealt with my entire life. This is crazy. Is this really not turning right now? Like, how is this even possible? Jesus. Dude, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. This thing is like fused to the axle. Oh, a lot of Sawzall blades. You kidding me? This is crazy. Oh! I don't even care. Yes! Yes! Oh, you bitch. Ah! This thing still has the audacity to thread off and fight me till the bitter end. Unbelievable, man. I think this is gonna go down in the history of toughest axle bolts that I've gotten off without destroying the axle or any other components. I managed to save everything, man, except for this nut, of course. So I appreciate you guys watching. Oh, also, if you got a strange DM or a comment, reply, saying to telegram me or email me and I'm asking for personal information or anything like that, dude, it is not me. I'm not doing any giveaways right now, and I only have one YouTube account. There's a whole bunch of fake bots and stuff. They're not just on this channel. They're on like any channel that has a significant following, I've noticed. Don't fall for the scams, guys. It is not me. I'm not gonna telegram you or WhatsApp you. No cryptocurrency schemes, any of that bullshit, man. The bots are out of control, dude. They're out of control. Look at that. This is a keeper right here, man. This is like a $5,000 item. You believe that? And look at that, man. No damage to the axle or the hub. It's all good to go. Well, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and tear the rest of this down, repair the frame, and send this stuff out to Bonehead Performance for powder coating. Really excited to see the transformation of this thing, man, because this is a piece of crap, dude. It really is. So if you appreciated the video, please give me a thumbs up. That means a lot to me. Also consider hitting that subscribe button for more videos like this. If you're looking to support the channel even further, there is the option to join. All channel members get guaranteed responses to their YouTube comments. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.